Could you use a quick tip daily? How about a tip that can impact your day? My name is Rafael. Join me as I bring you tips by experts around the world. These experts have shared their knowledge and wisdom with me and will directly share them with you. Make sure to subscribe, like, follow, and comment, and I would love for you to become part of the New Tip Daily community. Conchetta, happy Friday. Thank you so much for joining me on New Tip Daily today. How are you?
Thank you very much, Sifu. I'm very well. Thank you for
Absolutely. I'm,
having
I'm
me here.
excited for what you're going to share with us today. It's focus and attention. I think we have to take, in order to get the attention, we need to get the focus, right? So why don't we cover one at a time?
Yes, definitely.
So
Yeah.
tell us where you're coming in from, because it's not the same time as the New York time. For me, New York time right now it's 9:31, but for you, you're somewhere else, young lady.
Yes, I'm from the Netherlands, and here is 3:30. So in the
Oh,
afternoon. And it's a
beautiful.
super sunny day. It's beautiful. Yes,
It's beautiful every day. Beautiful every day that we get to shine our light, right?
exactly. Exactly.
Mhm. So I'm excited. I'm listening.
Yes. Shall I go with the first tip?
Yes, please.
Okay. So the first tip I have to tell you is something that come up by like talking with a lot of people, and I noticed that the first reason why people cannot really focus is that if you ask them, what are you working on, they cannot tell you, or they go like this, or they
Mm,
start doing this and this and this and this and this, and this is impossible for focus, because usually when we don't have very clear, like constantly, what we are working on, it
mm,
means that we are not focusing on something, but mainly we are deciding what to focus on.
right.
And actually, decisions and focus cannot stay on the same space. Like the space is the same, but then the actions that we are doing, the task that we are doing, is not the same. So if we are deciding, we cannot be focused. So usually I go, every time I listen to I cannot focus, I go, try to answer to this question in maximum 2 seconds. What are you working on? And if you cannot answer, it means that before waiting for focus, you get to be a bit more clear. So
Mm.
this is
It's very interesting. You and I, before we started the show, we had a conversation, and I asked you, "What are you excited about? What are you working on?" And you did not hesitate. I would now. I'm going to ask you, what are you working on that you're excited about? Go ahead, show us. Show us. Go ahead. I'm excited for you.
I just released this workbook, which is like all my framework and like the research and the working with people that I've been doing for the last 15 years in one workbook. So it's something that you can use by yourself and you can find your own strategy. Because also, one tip that I can tell is that focus and like the way we pay attention to something and we focus on something is
Mm,
the result of usually a strategy that we have. And also, when we get distracted or we start missing the focus, it's because we have also a strategy to do that. But
mm,
usually, we are not aware neither of the good strategy or nor the bad strategy. So this is actually like a program that help you to understand your own strategy, which is different from everyone. So that's also very interesting because not everyone focus the same way, not everyone pay attention to the same way and the
right,
same.
right.
So yes.
You you're so contagious. Your smile is beyond beautiful.
Thank
And when I asked you about what you're working on, your smile just it went 100 times bigger, right? Um, and you showed us your workbook. Now tell us, where can somebody pick up the workbook?
Or if you go to my website, you can find the
I'm
link.
gonna put
It's
your website. You ready? I'm gonna put it
yes,
here, everybody. Here
yes,
it is. Here is her website, right? So
exactly.
connect
If
with
you go
her.
there, you got the pop-up and you can find the link. It's really easy.
I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. I'm also gonna put your website up. I'm gonna take it off now because I'm gonna put it up in the comments so people
Okay.
can go to your website, right? It's gonna go in the comments. So here we go. It's going in the comments right now, and we're gonna pop it up. And so make sure that you pick up her book, her workbook. And I put it in so many different places that you can go take a look. It's not hard, right? If you
Now we
follow
just
me,
have to
it's not
dance.
hard. You see all the different places that I just threw it on? So go follow, go and sustainable sustainablefocus.co, right?
Yes,
How simple is that, right?
exactly. Exactly.
I
Yeah,
like
no,
this first tip, by the way. Don't hesitate. You got to answer it in 2 seconds, right?
yes, yes. If you cannot, you have to really decide because it means you are deciding instead of
Mm.
focusing. So
Mm.
make that decision. And even if it's not like the ultimate one, the definite one, the definitive one,
Mhm.
just pick one. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So how do we even get to that position to be able to have that kind of focus that you're talking about? Because for some people, and you said it's so difficult.
Yes.
Conchetta,
Yes.
how do we do it?
Well, like it's true it's difficult because focusing on something is the most, let's say, even if it's counterintuitive, is the most not natural activity because we have to think about focus and also attention in general before focus as something that help us stay alive and survive and then stay also connected with the environment. So first of all, the role of attention is to keep us connected with what's around us.
Mm,
This means that we have to be, that we must be always able to pick up what is happening around us.
mm,
So this channel has to stay open. That's why I always talk about sustainable focus instead of sustained,
mm,
because we think about being focused and locked into the task we are doing, but actually the thing becomes easier when we are grounded with the environment and we free up space that is taken by like the feel of unsafety when we are isolated, and we can stay both on, yes, I'm grounded, so now I have more space in my mind to stay focused.
mhm.
So one thing that is very important is like remembering this role of attention that is keep us connected.
Right.
So what we do like in our society, of course, like nowadays, is using focus to something that is different from survival and is mainly productivity. So we actually are moving all the focus on something that is a bit more forced, and still and it's also something that is a bit difficult to keep because staying focused also means controlling ourselves, having a very a very sense of self control, which
Mm,
is tiring actually, and it's expensive in terms of different things like energy, cognitive resources. So we are doing something that is not easy. It's very demanding. What I think is that, like, being focused and paying attention, but mainly being focused, is a result of many elements. So
mhm,
many times I listen people telling, "Yeah, it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter if you are motivated enough." But this for me is not true. I mean, it's not only motivation, but
Right.
motivation is one part, and you want to keep it there.
Mhm.
Otherwise, you are going to build maybe some kind of habits that will lead you there, but in a more mechanical way. And at that point, you start also losing the kind of thing that you were mentioning, like the happiness, the enthusiasm. And we want also that.
Mhm.
Because one thing that we often miss is that even when we are doing something that we are not really happy about or motivated about, there is always a relationship or some kind of connection with our life. There is something, always something that we care about. But most of the time we cannot tell what it is. So
Mm.
like, very simplistically we say, I'm interested in this, so I love it, or I'm not interested and I don't
Mm.
and I cannot do it. But
Yeah.
it's different levels. I mean, we sometimes we cannot do something not because we are not interested, but because we don't know how to do it, or because I we don't see that there is some kind of connection in our life. There is something in there from for us. So I think that it's a matter of combining different elements that can kind of lock you in a task. Always, always also keeping in mind that the first goal of attention is not to be productive, but is to
Right.
stay alive.
It is. It is. It's the more I'm listening to you, I'm thinking, "Ooh, what do I do with all the notes I have, right?" And then, so the way I do it is, then I put them into. I used to have 5 different journals, and now I have a one that's like this. So it allows me to. Obviously, I have to log in, but it allows me to create folders, right?
Yeah.
And my folders allow me to find out where I put everything, right? So that
Yes.
I can start to be more focused on a particular task.
True.
For example, I can go in here and it's different ones, and I can click on that one. And now this is what's my focus is. So I'm not looking at 50 different things, but I'm
True.
focused on that particular item at the that one given time. Would you also say that I personally I meditate?
Hmm.
Would that help someone to have clarity also in writing things down, right? Because
Yeah.
I take a lot of notes, as you can tell, I take a lot of notes. I,
We are
I was
very
taking
similar.
notes. I was taking notes even now when you were talking. And one of the things for me is meditating, and even after I read my notes, and then
Mhm.
going back and just focusing on that particular item or that particular task. So the notes help, right?
Yeah, definitely, definitely. There are a lot of people, for example, telling me, "Oh, I cannot focus. I cannot really remember things." And I go, "But are you used to write things down?" And
Mm,
they are like, "No, no, it's just my mind doesn't work, doesn't remember." And I'm always like, "We are living in a world now that is full of information. Like it
mhm,
is full overwhelmed by information, and so is our mind. So
right,
the very first thing that we can do is just writing things down. And also, as you said, I really believe that writing things down helps, first of all,
mhm,
because you free up space in your mind.
right,
And then also because when you free up space, then usually the most significant keep going is like a filter that you put. So you just dump down everything that is in your mind. And
mhm,
then you free up space for something that will keep growing and growing and growing. So it's really useful. So for example, one thing that I have that I always suggest that is also part of the workbook is that no, for example, we are always thinking in a negative way about distractions. But if you think about distractions, They are nothing more than information that are relevant for us. And that's why they are taking a certain place in our mind.
Mm.
So, and also every distraction is not absolute, like an absolute idea, is a frame dependent, is context dependent. So, for example, if you are reading and you think about going to grocery, if you think about distraction, if you think about reading, doing grocery is a thought that is a distraction for reading.
Mhm.
But if you think about yourself, you're like having food available and not starving. Reading is a distraction. So
Mm.
you have to take into account which is the frame. And usually, when we are focused on something, we like part of our brain is thinking about something else. And this is very, very useful. And we don't want to stop that. We
Mhm.
want to leverage it. Because when we are focused on something, a part of our brain is like recombining something that is totally not related. And it's mainly something that is unconscious. So, what we want to do, instead of saying, no, I don't want to listen, go away, we want to note it, like writing down, and right after the session, go back and have a look at what is there. Because that's our brain working for free, basically. And if
Mhm.
we've been writing, we also have an overview of what is happening in our mind and also in our priorities. Because, for example, if I'm writing my newsletter, for example, and I keep being distracted by a thought of a person giving me a wrong answer, and I start thinking, oh, okay, but why was that? Why was that? And I don't take care of that. I just keep postponing this thing, and that will be in my mind forever, like distracting
Mhm.
me forever.
Right,
But
right.
if I write it down, maybe just to sit, the very fact that I'm writing down sometimes is itself the solution. But sometimes it's like, okay, let's face this. Why I'm keep thinking about this person, why I keep thinking about this answer. And maybe we can go there and spend some time on it and say, what do I want to do with this? Because the
Mm.
fact that it's there and it's taking some kind of space, it means that for us, somehow it's relevant.
Mhm.
And that's really, really important. So, like, noting things down is the best thing we can do. I don't
Absolutely.
go anywhere without like a notebook
Mhm.
in every shape, because I also have the one that you have, and it's beautiful, of course.
It definitely makes a difference when we can, I call it brain dump, right? When we can take everything from our brain, put it on paper, and then we can make sense of it, right?
Yeah.
So I really love that. Let me share this video with you. Take a look.
Yeah.
You followed the rules, tried the restrictions, counted the carbs, the steps, and the failures. You're not lazy, you're exhausted from doing it all without real change. What if the problem isn't you, but the plan? Sifu's Mind Body Method is a 90-day transformation built on 7 unshakable pillars: mindset, movement, nutrition, hydration, fasting, journaling, and faith. This isn't another shortcut. It's your structure, your strength, your reset. You don't need harder, you need better. Ready to begin? Start today. See, it's journaling, it's part of it, right?
Yes.
Rest is part of it.
Yes.
Sleeping, nutrition, everything. So how do we go from focus to attention, to be able to pay attention to that which we may be focusing on? And you talked about we have so much information. This is also a distraction. This is my phone, right? And so every time I pick up my phone, my 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 image is of me walking with God, right?
Oh, this
So
is lovely.
every time I pick up my phone, it gives me a reminder that my purpose is more than just what I think, right?
Yeah,
It's what he's given me so that
yeah.
I can share it with my friends, family, um, people in the world, and so forth.
This is beautiful. Well, that actually helps me also reframe the idea that we have that necessarily our phone is a distraction. Because I think that when we are, so the point is that it's true, like from a very, say, immediate um, thinking, yeah, it seems to be a distraction. But there are also a lot of things on the phone that are super, super important. So, for example, when I wake up in the morning, I take my phone, but not just when I sit down and I have breakfast, I'm going to read some Bible, for example. Why? Because the Bible is huge as a book, and
Mhm.
I don't want to, I cannot really bring it everywhere. So for me, it's really nice to have it on the phone.
Uh,
But the point is that what I'm looking for when I'm with my phone on my hand, I'm looking for something that I kind of desire, like I really desire to read that. And actually, I'm not thinking about, yes, there is Instagram, there is, I don't know, whatever. It's really, really goal oriented. But again, I don't think it's not only the goal, but the desire of what you want to do. The point
mhm.
is that when you don't have decided what you want to do, then everything can take place. And I think that, like, you give space to distractions when again you cannot answer the question what to do here. So, and I think it's also a practice. I mean, the more, so for example, there are a lot of children who cannot
Mm,
focus on homeworks, but they are super good with like playing video games.
right,
When you think about them, do you think that they start playing video games and just they go focused? No, they've been playing in their mind, like anticipating that thing, like and rehearsing that thing, so that when it's time, oh my god, it's time, let's play.
right.
Of course, they don't do the same with homework. Who goes with, you know, to do
They
homework?
try to avoid that.
Exactly. So I think that there are a lot of things that are related to why we bring
Mm,
focus on something. It's motivation. It's like having clear what we want to do. It's like being anticipating stuff, because for this is also true for relationships. For example, when we go and talk with someone, with a loved one, for example, we think we go there and like immediately we jump
mm,
into a nice conversation, a nice relation. But actually, also also there we need to get prepared. And by getting prepared, I mean start thinking about, start preparing ourselves, start thinking what is that I want to give to this person, what I want to get from this, out of this relationship, what I want to generate. I want to
mm,
generate uh, happiness. I
mm,
want to generate listening, whatever. But
right,
what we are what I think that we are actually losing is not the focus, but the ability to get ready to things, because
mm,
we're always rushing, and it's normal that that if you jump from thing to thing, it's difficult it's like, why am I here, what am I doing here, and you are already thinking about the next thing and then the next thing.
mhm,
So one thing that is very important is getting ready, because if you get ready properly, then the execution is like the most obvious thing that you want to do. And
mhm,
actually, that's what I call focus. It's like the execution of an image, a desire, a movie that I created in my mind. But we are not really used to think about it. I mean, we think about focus and attention in this is uh, kind of a problem when we think about focus and attention, because we think more in a cognitive centric way. So it's a cognitive ability that we have, and if it doesn't work, it's a problem, usually a brain problem. But actually, we have it, but it's not said that we are going to apply to whatever we decide. I mean, because a lot of elements are in play, and we want to address these elements, usually anticipation, usually trying to
Mm,
figure out why this is important for us.
right.
Just very in a very simple way, attention is there when interest is there. And this idea of interest can be really like broken down into many elements, and
Mm,
can be also just safe. My main interest is safety, so I want to feel safe, to pay attention. There are really, really a lot of elements.
mm. Well,
Yes.
one of the things that you have me thinking about is multitasking, right? A lot of people say, I can multitask. It's no big deal. I can do all this stuff. But when we think about multitasking, a lot of people don't realize that, yes, you can walk and chew gum, you can walk and look, you can walk and wave to people, but you cannot have this two different thoughts at the same time. You cannot. It's
No, exactly.
impossible. It's impossible. So multitasking, a lot of people go, yeah, I can I can do this and focus on that. You're not able to. You can walk and talk, right?
Yeah, yeah,
You can run and jump. You can do all these different. You can eat something while you're walking. You can drive
yeah,
and you know and listen to the music, but you cannot have two different thoughts at the same time. So
yeah.
you do have to focus on one, right?
That's true. But actually, it's true. It happens also in the scenarios that you mentioned, but it's less noticeable. So, for example, it's true that you can drive and you've been learning it, and now it's automatic. You don't have to think about
Right, right.
driving in order to do it. But it's also true that if you're talking with someone in the car and you have to decide which
Is more
way to
important.
go or something happens, you go, wait, shut up for a minute. I need to think. So
Right.
it's like it is not that it's not there, but it's less visible, and it emerges only when something bigger happens. But still, usually when we think that we can multitask, it's just that we accept that one of the two tasks can be done in a more superficial way.
Yeah.
So that's the point. When we realize that all both the tasks require the same effort and the same focus, then it's impossible.
Yeah, you have to pick one. You have to pick one.
Exactly.
Um,
But it's also unconscious. So
mhm,
when you think you're doing two things, unconsciously you decided that one is less important.
right, absolutely. Take a look. I have one more thing for you. Take a look.
The city never sleeps, and neither do the dreamers who build its pulse. From every corner of the globe they come. Visionaries, creators, leaders, each carrying a spark ready to ignite the world. This is not an event. It's a revolution of rhythm and reason. A symphony of minds. A movement of momentum. Sifu, Rafael, Lancelot, Jose Escobar. Together they set the stage for brilliance. This is the NYC experience. Mastermind, light up the city. They coming from the east, coming from the west. Knowledge on deck, put the truth to the test. Leaders in motion, hearts in sync, dropping wisdom so deep it'll make you think. They bring stories, sweat and flame, different faces, one shared name. Elevation, that's the sound. NYC experience, mastermind, where purpose is found.
We can't help but move, right?
I love it. Exactly. It's impossible. Even
Yeah.
if you try, it's impossible.
Yeah, it's such a good rhythm and music and experience and I got to tell you, it's such a great way to get to meet people
Yeah,
that when I created this whole thing, I was like, this is exactly what I want. I want the energy that you bring. So I can't wait because I know you're going to be joining us in Ireland and it's going to be phenomenal. I cannot wait.
yeah,
Ireland, everybody, is going to be April 23rd through the 26th, and you get to meet Conchetta there.
of course. I
Yeah,
can wait.
it's going to be phenomenal. So, final thoughts before we wrap it up on focus and attention. Give me a minute of what it really means for somebody to start to do so.
Um, I think there is something very individual that we have to start thinking is that we have an idea of focus and attention. Usually, we have a picture of someone that is close and locked on something. We want to question that idea and see how we experience things, how we get connected with things, also the task that we are doing, the thing that we are reading. We want to find our own relationship with it. We don't want to fit like a description that is
Mm,
more of compliance more than focus.
right.
So it's something it we really want to think what is our uh, modality, what is our way to pay attention, and also thinking that attention is not the goal. Usually attention is the tool, the way we have to get connected with what's around us and what's
Mhm.
important for us.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Thank you for that. So let me ask you, what can somebody expect? You have 45 seconds, 45
Ooh,
seconds. What can somebody expect when they come to your website besides picking up your journal or
yes,
your workbook? I meant your workbook.
they find the way to get to master their focus in a
Mm,
way that is sustainable so that it respects the real function of attention, like the first way of the first function of attention, which is get us connected and also feel safe and also being productive. And they
mm,
will find all the way to get more focused and beat procrastination and beat all that things, because all that things are some names that we get sometimes, like mostly to the fact that we don't know how to focus, that we don't know the
mhm.
strategy. So they will find like tools, but also knowledge and also a new way to think about attention.
Gotcha. Awesome. So make sure everybody that you go and check it out. Make sure you go and not only connect with her, but get your workbook. Get that workbook. Conchetta, you, my dear, are such a blessing.
Thank
And
you.
what can I say? I am just thrilled that you're here with me. Really, really appreciate you. Everybody, do me a favor. Go ahead and get the workbook, but also share this episode with somebody who needs to hear what Conchetta shared with us today. So let's do it and let's have a fun time. Everybody, happy Friday. Thank you again, Conchetta, for being here with
Thank
us.
you, Sifu.
Such a blessing. Thank you, everybody. Have a blessed day. Enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. Bye bye.